this year's Alabama team, last year's LSU team, 2018 Clemson, or 2015 Ohio State?
Woo! 2015 Ohio State or 14?
Was it 14 I won or 15? Was it the 15 national championship game, 14 team?
Exactly. Yeah. So that team.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh boy. I'm gonna go. Goodness gracious! Wow. The best defense of those was either the Clemson defense or the Ohio State defense. The best offense were the last two teams, Alabama and LSU, and then probably Clemson third, I guess. Although it's tough to knock Zeke Elliott and Michael Thomas, who are like all-time greats in the NFL right now, winning rushing championships. And we're talking Michael Thomas is carving a career that's beyond Jerry Rice at this point. Yeah. That's phenomenal to think about. I don't know that really people take that in. Wow. Okay, off the top of my head, I'm going to go. Wow. There's such a split there between offense and defense for me. I might go with this Alabama team, number one. And the Clemson team 2, Ohio State 3, and LSU 4. I don't know. That's a tremendous question. I think all four teams have different strengths and really no weaknesses. If that Ohio State 2014 team had an NFL quarterback, I'd take them because the offensive line was tremendous. They had the best running back of all of them, the best wide receiver of all of them, up until maybe Devontae Smith. We'll see what he does. But in terms of the NFL, we're seeing what Michael Thomas can do. And man, all first rounders in the NFL in the secondary. It's a tremendous question. It's a great question.
Yeah. Well, and also you still got to see what Jamar Chase does in the NFL too, because we saw what Justin Jefferson did.
Oh yes, good call. Yeah.
That's why I thought you were going to go LSU there for a second. Then damn, you put him at fourth. You said no, I'll put him at fourth.
That's how close I've got him.
No, I agree. I think those are probably the four best teams of the last decade. For sure.
Yeah, I've got these Florida State guys that we do a show with on every Wednesday, and they swear that 2013 Florida State team is the greatest of all time. And I'm like, well, I don't know. They didn't play anyone. I just, it's hard to measure them when they're playing Duke in the ACC championship game.
Yeah, and they played a Auburn team that almost got beat 3 times that year. That had to win on like miraculous plays.
Yes, kick sixes and bobbled passes in the secondary. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think we could probably go with LSU. And like I said, they're really close. But I just think that LSU offense is the most precise and best offense I've ever seen. Even better than the Alabama offense, because they had 2 pretty much Devontae Smiths. I think if Jalen Waddle was healthy the whole year, you can make a case, but it's really hard.
Yeah. I was watching actually Najee Harris run tonight, and I was thinking about that LSU offense, and then I was trying to run through position units on those two teams to figure it out, and I was kind of comparing Najee Harris to Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's off to a really good start as a Kansas City Chiefs, but I think Najee Harris is a better player, but I don't know. You can't miss with either one of them.
Yeah, they're just different players, I think. I think they're both good in their own way. And I think to come up with a precise prediction for that, you'd have to break it down by defensive line and linebacker.
Yes.
You can just break it down by defense versus defense, because Clemson probably had the best defensive line out of all 4 of those teams. But then I think Ohio State secondary that year was loaded. Marshawn Lattimore, Garyon Conley, and then Malik Hooker. He hasn't done much in the NFL, but I thought he was going to be the next Ed Reed in college.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then another question.
Yep, go ahead.
Oh, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say offensive line play gets disregarded, but it's to me the most important unit on the field, and we'd really have to do a deep dive on that one. But the 2014 Ohio State team, their offensive linemen have become very accomplished in the NFL. When you're talking Elflein and Lindsley.
LSU and all those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 Joe Moore award-winning offensive line, Bama and then LSU. So, I mean, you got to get there's just a lot of talent between those 4 teams.
Definitely.
Where would you rank Devontae Smith in your lifetime of college football wide receivers.
Oh, my word.
I'm a lot younger than you, so I think he's the best I've ever seen. But
I think he I don't doubt it. I've been watching since the late 70s, and you know that the game was played so much different.
Yeah, definitely.
These guys, you know, I saw a lot of great receivers, let's say, like in the 80s, but they really didn't reach their potential as players until they got to the NFL and really played in sophisticated passing offenses. Where these guys today, they come out of high school and they've played so much pitch and catch in all these camps, and the way they play high school football is they're just so much more polished. And he is just such a sweet athlete. He is so smooth and so incredible. Is I can't argue with that. I can't think of anybody that's better.
Yeah, I don't even think there's anyone. I think if Jamar Chase would have played this year, and well, the thing is, LSU doesn't have to put Mac Jones or Steve Sarkisian call plays, but he's really good too. Though I mean, just the 1 year at LSU is insane. But I can't think of. I mean, this was by far, I think, the best year for a wide receiver in college football history. But just his body of work overall has been great in his 3 years. It's gotten better every year.
Yeah, it's incredible what he also just not just looking at the talent, but in terms of just putting together a career. You know, statistically, it was capped off by this year. Statistically, that was the pinnacle where they spread out the ball to various options the rest of his career. But to start out with capping a freshman season with a national championship catch in overtime, which had obviously never been done, and then finish it off by being the best player in the game to win a national championship again is just crazy good.
Yeah, I was hoping he'd get 300. I was really rooting for that. So I think he probably broke his hand or at least a couple fingers.